Today on the 5-minute book review starring Curtis and Ian, we crack the spine of 1993's epic graphic novel, Knightfall. Side note, although most of you don't realize it just yet, but cracking the spine was a brilliant play on words, as this 20-comic arc followed Batman being taken to his absolute limits by a new up-and-comer, the dastardly villain Bane. What does Bane do? Glad you asked. First of all, he breaks hundreds of baddies out of Arkham Asylum, which forces Batman to re-catch them all, and when Batman finally can't continue, and I mean finally can't continue, he returns home to the Batcave where Bane is waiting for him. Coin toss to start, and Ian is the winner.
5-minute book review with Curtis and Ian, and Curtis has got our book over there. It is the collection of Knightfall, a Batman story from the early to mid-90s, if I remember correctly. It's from around the same time that the Death of Superman story came along. It was a time in DC's history where they tried two big things to up the sales in the company. One, kill Superman. Two, break Batman in two over some new villain's knee. And that's what they did. Knightfall is a story of Batman being slowly demolished, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and eventually physically, to a character by the name of Bane. Bane is jacked up on a drug called Venom, fights him, and literally takes him and busts him over his knee like a twig. It's one heck of a story. The Death of Superman story, interesting, always comes across kind of gimmicky, this is for sales. And, maybe ultimately that's what Knightfall was too, but you know what? Knightfall is one hell of a story. It's not even so much watching Batman being decimated physically as watching him being emotionally and mentally just absolutely demolished as they bring up to that point.
The thing I love about the Knightfall story, the whole arc of it, is that it's not this huge twist, and they don't turn the comic on its head like they did with my favorite story, Kraven's Last Hunt. This is just a collection of regular looking and sounding Batman comic books with just an ending that comes out of nowhere. Check that out. That is an iconic picture right there. You're not going to get a more iconic Batman picture. I defy anybody to find something like that. Is intense. And again, it was fun. It wasn't really super dark or depressing. It was all his villains that he spent all those years putting away in Arkham Asylum get busted out. And so Batman goes on this villain catching spree that lasts 2 weeks, where he doesn't sleep. He just has to catch all these guys Bane let out. And then when he doesn't even catch them all. He just hits his breaking point and is like, I need to go home. And who's waiting for him at home? Crack! I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not really funny, but Ian, say something.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a great story. What's interesting is right now I think Marvel's kind of doing a take on that with Spider-Man, where he's slowly working his way through all his villains, as led by, oddly enough, Kraven's wife and daughter are sending them against him to try and break him down. What is it leading up to? I'm not sure. It's not particularly good, but it's been basically the same thing. This slew of villains coming after him over and over again, but nowhere near as intense or honestly as well written as this was. Knightfall is a fantastic story, period.
I'm not going to lie and say the wheels didn't come off after his back got broken. This is a collection of the first 10. It went 20, and they debuted the brand new Batman on issue 19 of the 20-part series, I think. And, if you liked what the Spider-Man movies did to the Green Goblin, where they made him Robo-Goblin, you might like the new Batman they come out with. But, again, I want to go back to my original point. You're reading regular Batman comics with just this amazing surprise ending that just takes your breath away.
Oh, that's exactly it. It's a fantastic story, but I remember the Batman you're talking about. He was a character called Azrael, who I quite enjoyed as Azrael, and then they gave him armor, and he shot fire and throwing stars from his arms, and you just sort of went, okay, so what the crap is this?
And then you went back and read the first 10 again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's Knightfall itself. If you ignore everything that comes after it, and how it eventually progresses to Bruce Wayne's return to being Batman after he heals his back. Shocker. Mm-hmm. But Knightfall itself is a great story. I like watching him. It's not just a matter of him physically getting destroyed. It's the emotional decapitation he takes over that time.
The one where he gets his back broken, it's just so well done, because it's in his house. Yeah. It's in the Batcave. It's this new guy. He's already fought all his old enemies, and it's this new enemy that's just owning him, and he can't. He can't. That giant two-faced coin he has is like a souvenir in the Batcave. Falls on him at one point, and you're just like, man. Yeah. Can this day get any worse for Batman? He's beating Batman with his own medals and props now. And then he breaks his back.
It's just an exclamation point on the whole thing. It is a great series, though.
But at the same time, it's not as gritty and dark as you'd expect, because we're known for
Gritty.
reviewing our gritty and dark graphic novels, and
Gritty.
this is a fun, good Batman read with just, you know...
As fun as watching him being emotionally demolished and broken over somebody's knee can be, yes, it is fun.
Maybe we have a different definition of fun.
We're bad people.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs and 1 broken back.
Yeah, he really, not unlike a popsicle over a countertop. Batman's
Indeed,
back was
Barnaby
broken.
Jones, indeed.
But unlike a popsicle, he didn't put half in the freezer for later.
I don't know what's happening.